Merlin Series 2 is bigger and bolder and more confident.
I think people can expect from Series 2 a lot more action and monsters.
We find ourselves with about 1 million different things going on within one episode.
It's bigger, better, more magic.
It's huge! I didn't think it could get much bigger than last season, but it has got bigger.
I think they've sort of pushed the boundaries. Bar's been raised.
There are things that will change the course of everything for everyone.
Second series are the best. You get a chance to do everything a little bit better and a little bit bigger than you did before.
I think the exciting thing about Series 2 is that now the audience knows the characters, we can do more exciting stories with the characters.
My name's Colin Morgan and I play Merlin. Merlin is a very young, vibrant, enthusiastic type character. He puts 110% into everything he does. In Series 2, Merlin has very much settled into his role, and now it's about becoming stronger, becoming better, becoming more confident in everything he does.
What are you hiding behind your back?
Nothing.
Hey, what are you up to?
Nothing. Honestly. Arthur, I would never lie to you. I respect you far too much for that.
I'm Bradley James, and I play Arthur. I always describe Arthur as quite misunderstood.
I know you're upset. I know you're angry. It's all right. I'm not throwing you in jail.
Then what are you doing?
I'm breaking the law.
Due to the fact that he is the Prince of Camelot, and the responsibility of Camelot will be resting on his shoulders. You could almost describe Series 2 as part of a transitional stage for him, because clearly he's changing, and he's not what he was.
Olivia, it's good of you to let me stay in your home.
I'm happy to help. Hi, I'm Angel Colby, and I play Guinevere, or Gwen for short. Gwen is the very kind, gentle maidservant who works for Morgana in Camelot, in the castle. She tends to kind of speak her mind sort of accidentally sometimes, and sometimes inappropriately, sort of with regards to her status.
This is my home, and you are my guest in it. I know you are used to more luxurious quarters, but that is not an excuse to be so rude.
I think another thing that will be good in Series 2 is that we begin the romance between Arthur and Gwen, and this starts early on in the series and promises to be a heartbreaking, heart-warming relationship.
Sorry.
No, my pleasure.
So you get to see a bit more character development in Series 2, and you start to find out a bit more about the background of each of the characters.
Gwen? My name is Katie McGrath. I play Morgana. She is an opinionated princess. She's the First Lady of Camelot. She's a modern mind in a period body. She's not your usual shy, retiring, medieval girl. She's the ticking time bomb of the show, and everybody's waiting for her to go off. As the season goes on, you start to see her magical powers coming out. And with that comes the fear of them, because A, she can't control them, B, she doesn't know what they are, and C, magic in Camelot means death. And she suspects she's magical.
I'm so worried about you. I am Anthony Head, and I play Uther Pendragon, the King. We see a sensitive side of Uther because he falls in love. And it's a step away from this apparently very pompous, very self-assured man who's obviously not self-assured. As time goes on, we see the cracks beginning to appear because he loses it completely.
You see foes where there are friends. You see sorcerers where there are but servants. I am not the first to be wrongly accused in your war against magic, and not all have been as lucky as I.
I think at the beginning of Series 2, we see that Gaius stands up to Uther a bit more.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
The Gaius-Merlin relationship is a bit like father and son, in a way.
I wasn't thinking.
Well, think, boy, think.
It was just a bit of fun.
It was magic and it was seen.
You're right, I'm sorry. Series 2 has taken on board the fact that things can just go bigger and better.
The jousting was like playing three-dimensional chess. It was unbelievably complicated.
The stunts have to be done for real. So a guy really has to come off a horse at 40 miles an hour and smash into the ground. There is no way around that.
The French horse guys, they are so fearless that I was sitting there having kittens. I mean, they literally throw themselves off horses. You know, they bounce on their necks. I mean, nothing seems to faze them. They can just do anything. So, you know, they would just ride, oh, well, I can flip off the back of a horse and they'd just ride on and be standing there going, oh my God, that's amazing. CGI is always very complicated in a television show. In Series 1, we went on a huge learning curve and learned all the tricks of the trade about CGI. And so when we came to Series 2, we came into it more confident. We understood how it worked better, so we could plan for it a lot better.
I didn't have much to do with the CGI in the first series, and this time round I got my first experience with a flying monkey, which was kind of harder than I thought, actually.
I got to do my first CGI. I get attacked by giant scorpions and baby scorpions. It looks much better as the finished product than it is when you're actually filming it.
We've got creatures that you never would even imagine coming up against.
The general CGI of all of the show will be a lot better, and I think they'll be very excited by these fantastical creatures that we've created.
There's so much going on within every episode, both in terms of characters, regular characters, new creatures. Whenever we found out Mackenzie Crook was coming on to be a part of the show, everyone was hugely excited, and he was absolutely perfect for the role.
Well, you can give Merlin here a kick up the backside. I won't wish to deprive you of the pleasure.
Cedric is a kind of a con man, sort of wheeler-dealer guy that comes in just sort of looking for opportunities to make himself rich.
Amelia Fox plays a character called Morgause, and I had some amazing, amazing scenes with Amelia.
What if my father's attitude to magic is wrong?
She arrives at the castle in some disguise, and I think surprises the court, and issues a challenge to Arthur.
Are you sure you want to do this? If you were granted the same opportunity, would you not want to meet your father?
We do an episode where Sarah Parish plays a troll, which is a wonderful thing to see, where she disguises herself as a beautiful woman and seduces Uther.
I'm marrying Uther Pendragon. It's very exciting for me because, unbeknownst to Uther, I am a hideous troll.
The Witchfinder episode, Charles Dance turns up as the Witchfinder.
I am expected.
And he is a very scary man who's come to kind of weed out the magic and the witches.
What time is it?
Time for you to confess.
The great thing about Merlin as a format is that you can tell lots of different stories because the format of the show is very robust. We can go from a very comic story to a very tragic story to quite a dark story.
Tell me, are you as ruthless as they say you are? You would kill anyone.
I have killed many people. They're all the same to me.
Adrian is formidable on camera. He was ninja-esque.
What does he like to work for? Between you and me, can be a bit of a prat.
The intention behind Merlin was to create a three-generational piece of television, action-adventure for all the family, and hopefully that it would have a universal theme that everybody around the world would enjoy watching it. And the thrilling thing about Merlin is watched in primetime television around the world.
We went to London Expo, and 2 years in a row, I was a lot more nervous than I'd been on any of the stage productions I'd done. It's hard to think about the effect that the show has on when it comes on TV, when you're filming.
I have a feeling that if I was to come to the show now and it just sort of all be sprung on me, you know, I'd be like, oh wow, this is crazy.
I have to say, when I read the scripts and I kind of saw the formula for the whole thing, I kind of thought that's going to take off. I can really see that being a very sort of popular show. I think all the characters are quite lovable, even if they're not very nice. And it's sort of a pleasure to watch. I genuinely think if I wasn't in it, that I would watch it as well.
He's going to destroy Camelot!
It's not just this English show anymore. It's in so many countries, and you can't. You cannot wrap your head around that, so you just don't. You go, it's better not to think about it. Let's concentrate on what we're doing, and we'll worry about that later.
You can feel the energy and you can feel the excitement.
There's more CGI, and the characters are bigger and bolder.
Heroic, epic stories are something that we want to tell in this series.
Big Groot!